Hi guys, this is Igor. Here with me I have my colleague Antonia.
Hello, people.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you all for coming. I think we are ready and we can start. There are actually a lot of you who've tuned in, but as usual, probably some will come later as well. But we can start. Okay, so for today's webinar, we actually have really exciting news. We have implemented a complete new functionality in our mobile data collection application. So from now on, you can actually collect lines and polygons. And today we'd like to actually give you a live demo of it and maybe talk about some use cases and maybe even hear about your thoughts as well, how you would like to use it. We definitely want to hear your feedback on that. So Antonia, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, of course, if you have any questions, of course, you can always ask those in the panel, I believe, on the right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll probably go through those at the end of the session. Okay, so before we start, maybe a quick intro. I see a lot of familiar names here, but a lot of new ones as well. So 2-minute introduction of the company. So who is GIS Cloud? We see ourselves as a collaborative mapping solution for the entire workflow of your organization, of course, for online and on-premise solutions as well. Meaning that even though we have that cloud in the name, you can still have all this on site behind your firewalls as well. But what does the collaborative part mean? So throughout the years, we've actually been working with a lot of companies who had a lot of different roles in their organization. And we kind of took the approach of, wanting to introduce mapping and GIS to all of these roles, no matter of their skill levels, right? Antonia, you've been talking with a lot of customers like this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So what we wanted to do is we wanted to build an application or a number of applications that will target certain roles in the company so we could actually fulfill your workflows, right? And one of these applications that we built is called mobile data collection, which is, as the name suggests, a tool that allows you to collect data in the field, of course, on your mobile devices. So why did we, develop that solution? Because obviously, I think we'll all agree that field work is important. I assume that all of you have something out there outside of your offices that you care about, that you need to know more about. You're researching, what's happening out there in the world. You need to understand it, but not just, having that information, what happened or something that is. You need to understand what's currently happening in the world. So you need to have that real-time information from the field, so you could include that in your decision-making process as well into your workflows. So throughout the years, we've been talking to a lot of companies, and we found out that there are a lot of types of field works that they do, and there are a lot of use cases actually, and pretty much it all comes down to collecting information. Then you can inspect certain assets or other things in the field, because you need to understand what's happening currently, what is the current condition, and of course simple research as well. And it all ends up with that information that you can then include in your analysis or decision making. So it definitely in 21st century definitely it makes it's crucial. It makes a difference if you're working with the accurate real-time information and not in some cases we're actually working with companies who are not using anything at all. Which brings us to the value proposition, the ultimate value proposition of the mobile data collection application is you can't maintain and improve whatever that is you're maintaining or improving without accurate and current information from the field. So I've already asked you, Antonia, you've been speaking with a lot of our customers. So what kind of feedback did we get? How do they collect the data?
Yeah, exactly. So in our discussion with our customers, users, and everybody who's reaching out to us to discuss the possible usage of GIS Cloud in their work, we come to focus on three main things when it comes to the data collection and collecting the data from field. Most of them are focused on and relying on paper data collection. That means that they actually rely on worksheets. They do whatever work they needs to be done from field and then populate those worksheets. And once they are finished for today, they go back to the office. All of the team pull up their worksheets. They present it to a person, a manager, who actually then types all that in on a single place so they can combine all the information for that day, which enables them to plan out some things. This is all good, but what is the downside of this kind of workflow is that you are actually receiving the information at the end of the day. You don't get live information, you don't get live feed, and you are not able to react on time on certain situation because you only receive that information at the end of the day. It does not allow you to react on time or maybe plan out something else if something is not working properly. The next thing that we are experiencing is a lot of unsatisfied users who actually are working with expensive equipment, and this always eats up the budget itself, and they are not able to utilize it fully because in most of the times you actually are not able to have that equipment for all the field workers. So you have a couple of people who actually have access to this kind of equipment, and again, you are not utilizing it as you should.
So yeah, if I can add, so you're completely correct and right. So in addition to not having enough budgets to collect all that information, there's actually a certain information that you cannot collect with those heavy equipments, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You can use your smartphone tablets to collect something that's maybe not that relevant to you, but still improves your decision making, right? So that's why everyone has smartphones or tablets, right? So you can simply utilize that device to get that information as well. And with the expensive equipment, you cannot do that.
Exactly. Yeah, that brings us to the third option, and that is that you actually don't collect any field data due to lack of budget or just not enough time to organize it and set it up and prepare everything, and you just give up and you're not receiving any kind of information from field, and that actually affects your reaction and response time and may cause really unexpected costs and just complete fall of the entire organization.
So you're not basically doing your job, right? I'd say.
Yeah.
You're not getting these results.
So what actually you can do, and you can actually download our mobile data collection app and try it out how our solution can benefit your work and save you a lot of time. With the mobile data collection app, you are able to create fully customized project based on the information that you need to gather from field and only that information. You design it as you find it fitting. Once you are done with the project creation, and that will take you only a couple of minutes, you will see it shortly. You share it with as many field workers you have that day or that week or month or whatever the length of the project is. And that way they all can collaborate on a single project, feed you live information directly from field, which enables you to have a quicker response time and planning ahead. So
yeah, sounds like a good value proposition, I'd say.
yeah, so what it would be great to go over the benefits, Igor, so if you can tell us just a quick overview of...
Yeah, sure. But before we jump to that slide, we actually wanted to ask you guys, what do you currently use for data collection? So I'll launch the poll that we have. And if you can actually select one of the values, we'll show you the results. Okay.
And we can go back to the presentation in meantime. Mm-hmm.
So we're still collecting. For now, yeah, a lot of people actually are using paper as well. Although we see that a lot of people actually are using mobile devices as well. What is great to see that no one actually said I don't.
Yeah, that's good to see. I presume that some of you are actually answering the GIS Cloud mobile devices. I hope that you are using our solution as well.
Yeah, we see a lot of familiar names here. Okay, I think pretty much all of you gave us your vote. So the results. Okay, we'll close it now. So 90% of you actually use paper, 8% of you use expensive equipment, and what is great to see that 73% of you use mobile devices. And what's even better, none of you don't collect data from the field, which is
awesome.
Awesome, yeah. Okay, so you pretty much understand that there's definitely a use for smart devices in terms of data collection. So what do we actually bring to the table? What are these key value propositions that you mentioned, Antonia, already? So like I said, a lot of you have already tested the application and you've tuned in to find out about the lines and polygons. So you already know that with mobile data collection, it's really a matter of minutes when it comes to deploying your forms. So you can quickly and easily customize and build your form. And as soon as you share that form with your data collectors, they could start collecting data immediately. So you can actually deploy and collect data in one day, I'd say.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
1 day. So that is definitely a key value proposition, because if you're working with paper, if you're working with other equipments, certain equipment, you'll definitely need to spend more time on designing and setting up. But maybe in my mind, and actually that's the feedback that I've been getting from our customers, maybe the most important part of having a customizable form and a data collection tool is data quality control. So with the form items, with the options that, and we'll show that in a second, but you can actually control what kind of data comes into the system. So you can say, you can make sure that all the data comes in, all the fields they need to be populated. You can give them predefined values. Everything's obviously in digital form right away, and you get it in real time. Which brings us to the next value proposition, real-time information. So as soon as someone collects the data, that data is instantly visible on a map, and we'll show that as well. And imagine having that kind of an environment where you as a decision maker basically wait in the office, and as soon as someone sends the point line or a polygon, you see that on a map, and you create a report, you include it in your analysis, and etc., which is really strong value proposition. On top of having attribute information and location geometry, you can also send photos. You can see that exact information from fields, which is extremely important for a lot of our clients. And really important, and the reason why we see GIS industry in general will double in markets in, let's say, 5 to 7 years, is the price. So we reduce the price significantly. You can have hundreds and hundreds of people collating data for you in a matter of a day, in a matter of a day, 1 day, for low costs. So it's extremely, I'd say, cost effective. It gives you that return of investment, I'd say, on that same day, which is extremely rare, right? And of course, you can prove me wrong. And if you remember at the beginning, I've mentioned that we've actually built a number of products that target certain roles in the organization, and mobile data collection is one of them. But there are other tools that will help you get more out of your data. So when you start seeing, lines, points, polygons, or on the map, you'd like to analyze it further. You'd like to make sense out of it. You'd like to combine it maybe with some other data that you have. So you can do all that within GIS Cloud, and with that real-time component, it's everything's everything's in your hands, I'd say. Okay, so enough of the introductions. I think we're all ready for the main part. What's new with mobile data collection? Drums, please. And collecting lines and polygons, like we mentioned. Honestly, we've been getting a ton of feedback over the past few years from our obvious customers, users, whoever actually tried the application. Pretty much all of them asked, okay, yeah, this is perfect, collecting points, but can we also collect lines and polygons? And unfortunately, until now, the answer was no. And there were some workarounds, but no workarounds anymore. From now on, you can actually create line and polygon projects directly in GIS Cloud and use your smartphones and tablets to collect that information. So yeah, I'd say finally. There are a lot of use cases for it. Tonya will give you more information about that as well. We will definitely like to hear your thoughts on that as well. But before we jump to use cases, I think we've promised a live demo, right?
Yeah, definitely. So we would like to show you how you can collect line and polygon data. And we have prepared some projects in advance to show you, but we would also like to show you how quick and easy it is for you to create and start from scratch with a new project. So if you go to the mdc.gscloud.com, that will guide you to our MDC portal, log in with your credentials. If you already haven't created an account, do that immediately. And start by creating a new project. First, we will name it, let's say Powerline Inspection. Here you can see that you can actually write down a description as well and run a copyright if necessary. Type in whatever you find needed for this project. And the new thing that you can see, actually, that you haven't had a chance to see already, is that you can choose between point line and polygon projects. So we will start with the line. And next step is to generate our items, the things that we would like to gather from field. And we will start with a basic select list. Let's set up a district. Once we open up the detail tab, it will give you an option of typing in as many items to choose from later on for your data collectors. And this just helps you with getting a live feed with the information necessary to you. As far as the quality control, the required field is great because it will not enable your field workers to send any data through without populating this field, and this will save you a lot of follow up on empty submissions.
Yeah, and that was actually added after the first versions of mobile data collection because of the feedback that we got from our customers, and it, like you mentioned, it's resolved a lot of issues actually.
Yeah. So let's continue with a simple text field. We will have a street name for our project. Next, you probably need date and time. Yeah, so we need to know at what time a certain submission has been taken, as well as let's say, we are working with power lines, so let's do a voltage for our power lines. We will leave it as a radio button just to show you the difference between select list and radio buttons as well, how your field workers will see it. After that, of course, the photo field. I have to say that we also, on top of that, have audio recording if necessary. And it's always good to have a username for any kind of control over the field workers and who collected what data. These fields are actually hidden from your field workers and they will not be able to change it. So let's type in latitude and longitude as well, because let's face it, it's always good to have. So you actually, during the form creation, can see which fields are hidden from your field workers, and you will see it now once we save our project. So let's create a project. You will get an overview of the form that we just created, and you can see that some fields are invisible but will be collected, and you can see how the entire structure is set up. Let's open up our project now, and the next step is to share it, and I will now share it with Igor, and let's see what kind of data he will collect for us with his mobile device. Yeah, in terms of permission you can give to your field workers, you can choose can collect and can update. The difference is that with can collect, they are only able to collect new data from field, but with update permission, they are actually able to make certain changes to already existing or collected data. So that's up to you and the permission you wish to give to your field workers. Okay, let's close up. And we will leave our map open so we can see any kind of submissions later on that were taken by Igor. So Igor, if you would take over from here.
Yeah, I'm ready, Antonia. I'm ready. Okay, so I'll try to use my account to collect the data. And I'd like to actually show you how this looks like. So I'll try to share my screen on my cell phone. Okay, I think it's working. Okay, perfect. So this is actually live. In the top left corner, you can see mobile data collection application. And when I log in, I'm already logged in with my account. And in this screen, I can actually choose my project. So everything is the same, just like with point data as well. I'll just for a second refresh the number or the project list. And then I'll try to select the formula inspection. So this is the project that Antonia shared with me. I'll select it. And then I can go to the form. Now, immediately you can see the difference and the changes that we made. So for example, at the top you can see that we can actually start tracking, meaning that as soon as I click that option, you can see how many points are being created. You can also see the accuracy. The thing is, I'm in the building, so obviously the accuracy is not good. But you can always have external GPS devices that you can connect to your smart device and get that better accuracy. So what I can then do is I can start tracking automatically by using my GPS. Or in this case, if I'm not satisfied with the accuracy, I can, let's say, pause tracking. I can click on manual option, and then it gives me the option to actually draw a line. So I'll select draw a line. It will zoom into my location. It already has 1 point. We can zoom in, actually 2 points, because it collected 2 points, and that's indicated at the top of the form as well, or the map view. And now I can start adding points by clicking this. So I can do that manually. This, like this. The great part is that you can, for example, if you get to an area that is that maybe has better internet connection, and or not internet connection, you have, let's say, better satellite coverage, you can actually increase the accuracy. At that point, you can go back to GPS and, let's say, continue tracking. And it will automatically pick the location where you're currently located. Obviously, in this case, we don't have good accuracy, so I'll pause tracking. When it comes to the algorithm that we use the smart algorithm that actually recognizes if you're moving, at what speed you're driving or walking, and then periodically it takes or creates a point on a map. If you're walking slowly, it won't take. It will take points as let's say it will use a couple of meters or something like that. But if you're driving and you're not making any big turns, it will collect a point or put a point on the map every once in a while. We would like to get your feedback on that as well, definitely. So just give me a second, please. Yeah, mute it. So we would like to get your feedback on that and see if this is working for you, because we're thinking about improving that option as well. So we will definitely have questions, additional questions after the webinar. Hope we can use that feedback and improve the algorithm, or if in your case that's working, that's also fine. Okay, so if we go back to the form, you still can see that how many points we've collected. We can always continue tracking, and this is also really important because you can start filling in the form, and the system is still tracking your location. So if you're, let's say, driving, you can fill in the form. This, choose date and time, that. So you can immediately see the difference between select list and radio buttons, and we can take a photo as well. Okay. Of course, you can take as many photos as you want. And then if we're satisfied, as soon as you click send, that line will be finished. So you don't have to manually close or end the line. So as soon as I click send, you can see number 1 appear in view tab. It means that it's waiting to be uploaded, and as soon as it disappears, it means that it's out there, right? So that means that you can also collect line and polygon features in offline mode as well. Okay, maybe we can go back. Antonia, did you get my data?
Yeah, so as you can see, guys, I didn't need to refresh my project. The data that Igor collected for us automatically sent through, and you can see it on a map, and on top of that, all the additional information that we requested from him.
So, this is where the moment in the presentation that we get the wow effect. Because, there are a lot of companies out there still using paper or not using anything, and they were not familiar with this kind of technology. Although 80% of you already said that you use mobile devices, so you're probably not, you're already familiar with that, but hopefully we've wowed you with the line option, right? Like Antonio mentioned, we will show you some of the forms that we've already created before. So I'll show you that really soon. Of course, guys, if in the meantime, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to pose those questions in the panel, and we'll answer those as we go. Okay, so I'll go back to the settings tab. I'll refresh the project.
Yeah, let's go ahead and try out our new project that we already have.
Okay, so maybe we can start with collecting electric power lines. Obviously, we've created a project for inspecting them, but let's collect them. Let's go to the form, and this is actually one of the real forms that we've created for it. It has descriptions, IDs, that. So it's pretty much what is great about it. You can have these kind of custom forms. We can start tracking immediately, fill in the form. What is also perfect in all this is I can now pause tracking. I can go to menu, see what I've collected, go back maybe at a point, and if I'm not satisfied with certain points that I've collected, I can actually remove some of the points as well. I can choose between two options. I can remove the last one, or I can actually remove all of them if I'm not satisfied. And then when I go back to the form, I have removed the whole line. So I can start over, for example, if I'm not satisfied with the accuracy, etc., etc. So this is also great. But let's see how it looks like when we collect a polygon. So I'll go to my farm crop inventory, a form that we've created for collecting information about types of crops that we have in the field. So you can see it's a completely different form, and it took us like a couple of minutes to build these forms as well, obviously. You can see I'll start tracking. I've already collected 2 points. Field description, let's say that we're collecting harvested field of, I don't know, apples. Crop condition is excellent, irrigation. And we can take a photo. And of course we can take as many photos as we want. But let's go back to menu. Let's draw a polygon as well, and let's see what happened. Obviously, it also automatically zooms me to my location. So This is not a polygon that I wanted to create. So what I'll do is I'll remove last. I'll actually remove all of them. Yes. Go to the form, and I will draw a polygon. Okay. It's removing. Okay. And I'm gonna do this. So this is my location. This was the previous one. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And I can do this. And what's important to note is that you don't have to close the polygon. It will automatically close, or it will connect the last and the first point, so it will close it as soon as you click send in the form. So I'll click form, and I can click send, and it's uploading the data. So these were the two use cases, or the two forms that we have. But we also promised that we'll give you more information about certain use cases that we have. So Antonio, can we maybe take over?
Yeah, definitely. Let's go back to our presentation. And what I wanted to go over with you guys is the two use cases that pops up on top of our head. The first one is the power line network inspection. So when we are talking about the electric utilities, the first thing that pops to my mind is infrastructure. There are a lot of things going on with that, and everything from poles, power lines, transformers, the entire infrastructure is quite visible. And of course, a lot of things needs to be ensured that everything is running smoothly and the electricity is being delivered to the end user. And of course, anybody who is from that industry will know how much resources something like that would require. GIS mapping technology plays a great role in planning, managing, and monitoring any kind of operation within the electric utilities. So that will enable you to visualize and analyze anything that can improve decision-making process. Of course, electric utilities also change during the time you keep up with new trends, new industry, new upgrades, and that will require you to go out on field, inspect certain current situation, and write down any kind of feedback regarding your grid and maybe some kind of fixer uppers that needs to be done and report it directly back to the office so the team can react and respond. With MDC, you are able to do that as you can see, and you did so quite fast and effective. So what we would like to focus on maybe is the power lines itself, because we are now talking about line and polygon data collection. So we wanted to focus on how you can easily plan out the network itself with the new data collection. You can revisit the existing power line, but as well draw additional lines where you find them missing or plan out for future upgrades and distribution to your customers. So I hope that you will recognize yourself in this one, but the next one is for our water utilities as well. So with water utilities, we are talking about slightly different purple because most of their infrastructure is underground, which makes it quite difficult to handle and detect any kind of malfunction if it happens, and it does happen. So let's say you detected a leakage on your water line and you need to go out, inspect a certain area, map it out, and then plan out based on that current issue. So with the MDC, you are able to do just that. You can go send your inspector out on field. They will detect the leakage. They will mark it on a map. it will feed you live back at the office. On top of that, you can plan out your entire team. How much time will it take you to make that destination? Do you need to close down that part of the road for digging the certain area of your water line? What do you need to go to the city and run some permits for it and things like that? All of that you can set up and manage the entire workflow and entire process of fixing that issue with our mobile app, and it will save you a lot of time and resources, as you've probably already seen for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So there are a lot of actual use cases, a lot of stories, but we want to hear your story.
Exactly. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. So we actually have a contest out there. It's still active. We are actually giving out additional licenses for, you only need to apply, give us more information about the workflow you have, what kind of information you're collecting. We want to know more about your use case and or case study. And you can maybe participate in that contest. In any case, we want to hear your feedback. We will be in touch. But before we wrap this up, we want to hear your questions.
Yeah.
Again, guys, if you have any questions, please do ask those. You can see the questions section in the panel of the webinar thingy that we use. And we already have a lot of questions, so we can start.
Okay,
right?
Let's open them.
Okay, so can you nest questions in repeatables, like nested tables? So there are a lot of options in the form that you can use. My hunch is that we can do that. Yes, I'm saying hunch because I'm not completely understanding the full question.
I think that maybe we are talking about the dependency.
So like repeatables, maybe if we're talking about dependencies, yes, you can set up dependencies as well. So let's say that you want for certain values to show only if values in a previous form item have been selected. In that way, you can of course set this up. In any case, we will be in touch with you, and we would like to know more about what do you mean by nested questions in repeatables. Okay, let's go to another question. Okay, so as of right now, you can change the interval of vertices collection. No, this is something that we're looking at maybe adding in next phases, of course, depending on the feedback as well. Until then, we definitely want to hear your feedback on the algorithm that we already use. So if you'd like, you can test it out.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can let us know if this is working for you. And maybe then in the future we can discuss about having the option for you to define the intervals, not just the time, but also the distance as well. Oh, we have another great question. Is the snapping option available? So we do have snapping, but in our map editor browser application, snapping is not available at the moment for the mobile data collection. I assume that you would then use it when you manually draw lines or polygons, which makes sense. But in most cases, you'll want to use your GPS. That's why you're out there in the field. Because in Map Editor, that can also be opened on your, let's say, tablets as well. You have that snapping option. One of the key value propositions that we mentioned is do more with the data. So with our browser applications, you can always go back to the data that you've collected. You can change geometries, you can change attributes, you can change it in a way that they topologically are properly set, right? That's why you use the snapping tool. So I think we gave a semi-answer, right?
Mm.
Okay. What is the next question? Maybe can you read it, Antonia?
I have been facing problems with accuracy, making my data not usable. What advice can you give?
Okay, so that's why we do, in the first hand, that's why we do have that manual option. If you're not satisfied with the accuracy because of the device that you use and the satellite coverage that you have at that point, you can use...
there are two options, yeah. So you can actually pinpoint a location directly on a map, or if you have the resources, you can always use the external GPS enhancer. And the main thing is that MDC fetches the GPS from your device. So if your device is not getting, it's not precise, it will not get and fetch a good precision. But like we said, pinpoint is the way to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you collect point, line, and polygon data in the same project?
Great question. That is not possible at the moment, but it's actually one of our top priorities that we'll probably work on in the next phase as well. It makes sense, right? You're, let's say, driving. You want to collect the line as you drive, for example. But every now and then you need to stop and place a point on a map that represents a pole or something like that. So, yeah, basically, you can do that.
Let's go to another question. When creating polygons, are there any inbuilt topology rules to prevent things like gaps and overlaps? Similarly, are you able to trace along existing polygons to prevent overlaps?
Great question. No, we don't have any, let's say, automatic topology checks, validation. But we do have snapping that's available in our map editor application. So if you would you would use that tool, then you would actually be able to snap to borders and other vertices. But we don't have that functionality in mobile data collection. With that said, you can easily collect information and then tweak it afterwards in the browser app.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Okay, we have another question regarding snapping option. Obviously, that's something that's really interesting to you guys. So we'll report it to our developers, I guess. So you would need snapping in mobile data collection, although there is a workaround in, like I mentioned a couple of times, in Map Editor. So who knows, maybe we can test it out.
Can you again the same? Yeah. Can you collect points, lines, and polygons in the same form dataset?
Also another great question. So yes, you can create a map that has multiple layers in it. These layers can be obviously points, lines, and polygons, and then start collecting data, but not at this moment, not at the same time. You will need to select, okay, now I want to collect data for this layer, and now I want to collect the data for this layer. But everything can be in the same map.
Yeah, you can load it, you can switch between layers and then collect for it. Can you import and edit GIS data from external sources?
Yes, 100% yes. We do support a lot of other formats. For that, you would need a map editor application that allows you to build your maps from the scratch. You can even build features from the scratch, but a lot of users use it by uploading their existing data, and then they actually use it for data inspections as well. So that you have existing data sets that you want to update in the field, you create a map out of it, you have people using mobile data collection, selecting features, in this case lines, points, or polygons, and updating its attribute or even geometry information as well. Short answer, yes.
Okay, can this feature be incorporated into an ongoing project?
I think that actually relates to the previous question. Yes, so you can build or create another layer in one of your existing maps, and then have that layer as a line or a polygon one, and basically do it like that. So yeah, you can resume your work.
Do I need to install the app again?
It depends on the settings that you have on your smartphone or tablet, whatever you use. The thing is, it's compatible with iOS and Android devices, and
you just need to update it.
Yeah, if you already have automatic updates, then yeah, but you don't have to download the app again. So you should already have that option.
Yeah, it's released to our latest update.
Yeah, it's called MDC 2.0 or something like that.
How much the maximum data storage available?
Okay, so with the premium plans, you do get additional. You get storage more than the free ones. So you can look at the numbers, the exact numbers on our website. And as the number of licenses goes up, your storage goes up. There are some separate additional storage options available as well. like in the previous case, you can upload your data. So maybe you have a lot of data. Yeah, we do have that.
We don't have a limit on how much data you are working with. It's just a matter of costs and the number of licenses you need. So, do you plan on introducing the ability to record points, lines, and polygon inside one project?
Okay, so that's actually a question from one of our clients. I'm personally working with him. It's a great question, thank you. So basically the question is, can we do that not in map editor but in mobile data collection? Because we do have map editor that also allows you to create a project, and the app that we showed you where we've created the project is called mobile data collection portal. Soon we are doing something really powerful. Soon we'll join the functionalities, but definitely stay tuned.
Okay. As tree consultants, we require data to be displayed in schedules, like periods of work to be completed. Can this be shown as a separate display?
Oh, that's a perfect question. So basically, you're asking, can we color, certain locations that we collected according to different colors, or show only those that we need to maintain, inspect at certain points in time? If I got this right. So for scheduling and maintenance. Yes, we do have a lot of companies who use that. Use, I'd say, classification symbologies and dates for scheduling and monitoring. Maybe another webinar can be related to that.
Yeah, that's the one part that we mentioned in start of our webinar, where you actually do something with your data once the data is being collected. It's not only important to collect the data, but the next step, what you do with that data once you get it.
Yeah, definitely. In the meantime, we'll be in touch and show you how to do it. Okay, can the Polygon and line data be downloaded in GIS format? Absolutely. So we are not locking you in. You can export it in what formats, Antonia?
Yeah, so we do support export for all of our point line and polygon data in shapefiles, map info, camel, CSV. So you are more than welcome to download it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, this is a long one. With this new functionality, we will potentially do more projects. Is there a future development plan for alternative ways to upload the templates for creating forms? Currently, if you're creating a large form with many options, it can be quite painful and laborious to create. I completely agree. There's actually already a workaround in GIS Cloud, and we can definitely help you with it. You can use a JSON or JSON.
Yeah, JSON
form, yeah, and basically import all your predefined values and form items in that way as well. With that said, we are planning on introducing the tool to simply upload for you to upload a form, probably in Excel or something like that, which will then translate into a form in GIS Cloud. Until then, we will be in touch and try to help you with big forms.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So this one is related to the previous one, the scheduling. For example, you want to show certain points or lines or polygons that you collected. Let's say the red one, colored in red should be completed between 3 months, and the blue ones should be completed within 6 months. Yes, you can do that. We have that functionality. You can do that in MapEditor. Okay, let's see. We have a lot of questions, guys. You are
awesome.
Yeah, you are awesome. Yeah.
It looks like you're quite interested in this new functionality.
Okay. We have a long one. So you said something like it is difficult to collect lines when you're walking. At what speed can someone be moving to easily collect the data? So with the current algorithm that we use, it really doesn't matter. It recognizes the speed, and it also recognizes the distances, obviously. And according to that, whether you're making turns or something like that, it takes a point or creates a point on a map.
Yeah, so if you're considering to collect the data by car, you can do that.
Awesome question. A few of our clients have asked where the data is stored. We use Amazon servers located in the East Coast in Virginia. So it's, I'd say, really safe if you're asking about that. With that said, I believe the first slide showed you that we do use cloud servers, right? Servers, Amazon servers, but everything can be stored locally on site as well if needed. Of course, different pricing is then applied. But I think that Amazon are maybe the most secure service out there. So
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how many other questions you have. So how many lines of polygons can be created?
Yep.
Unlimited.
Yeah, there is no limit to
Yeah. You're limited with storage that you can always upgrade. So. Okay, we already have a user that created an account and logged in. I can see exporting to CSV only. Is it because of the free version of the software? So in the mobile data collection portal that we've showed you, it has CSV option, but that same project that you created can be opened in map editor, that is editor.gscloud.com, where you can open the project and see a lot of other tools that we offer. Amongst them is the option to export your data in the various GS formats or non-GS formats as well.
Is it possible to collect the polygon boundary by simply picking 4 corner points?
Absolutely, you can do that. Simply, draw a polygon by placing these points on a map with the tap of your finger, and then as soon as you click send in the form, that polygon will close.
Yeah.
You can try it out. It's free.
Okay. I think that we covered all of your questions, so thank you for those.
Let's see if we have some more. Yeah, we read a lot of questions. I think we actually ran out of time as well. But no worries. If you didn't have a time to ask a question, we will be in touch with you guys. Please do let us know if you'd like to test it out. We can help you. We can help you create a project. We want to hear your feedback. We want to know more about the algorithm that creates the points. We want to know about what kind of line and polygon data would you collect. If you get a chance, please do apply for the contest as well. We'll probably have it for another week or two, maybe more, but don't wait too long. And other than that, did I forget something, Antonia?
No, I think that we covered everything, and until next time, stay safe.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Hope you like the webinar, and talk to you soon.
Yeah, bye guys.